After finishing my first Python program using OpenAI's API to analyze data, I heard about a new Chinese AI company called DeepSeek and decided to create another equivalent program using their API so that I could compare the results of the two companies' models. Along the way, I ran into some unexpected problems. In this video, I share what I learned. My name is Zach Washam, and I'm the founder and head of instruction of PyFi. PyFi teaches finance professionals how to code in Python. And to support our marketing efforts, I recently started a research project where I'm looking at job postings from different companies that target finance professionals who can code in Python in order to understand why these companies hire people with those skills. Part of my analysis involves converting unstructured data into structured data. Specifically, my research assistant listed alternative tools that are listed alongside Python, as well as the ways that job postings say that Python will be used. And I want to convert that unstructured data into indicator columns that flag the different tools that are listed in each job posting and the different ways that Python will be used so that I can perform statistical analysis on those indicator columns. Large language models are well suited for performing this kind of analysis, so I thought that this would be a good opportunity to try out OpenAI's API in a Python program for the first time. I have messed around with OpenAI's models, but I've never used their API before. So I built a program that applied OpenAI's API to perform this analysis, and after some experimentation, it worked surprisingly well, and this seems like a good way to use OpenAI's models in collaboration with Python. After I finished building that program, I heard about this new Chinese AI company called DeepSeek and thought that it might be good to create a new version of the program using DeepSeek's API instead of OpenAI's to compare the performance of both companies' models. So I created a developer account with DeepSeek and bought some credits and started building my program. I immediately found that DeepSeek's documentation says that users can use OpenAI's SDK, the public source OpenAI package that you use to access OpenAI's API. DeepSeek says that you can use that to access their models as well. I tried using the code in their documentation, but it didn't work for me. DeepSeek provided an alternative method to access their models through their API using Python's request package, and that did work for me, but only for their V3 model, not for their reasoning model. For whatever reason, I was not able to get it to work, and their documentation only provided specific instructions for accessing the V3 model through this alternate approach. So that was the model that I tried using. In my preliminary experiments, as I was building my program, the V3 model gave me some odd results. For example, it once repeated part of a response until I think the model hit its token limit. I got a super long response that was not complete, and I've never gotten a response like that from OpenAI's models. The model also took more than twice as long in the most important part of the analysis, sometimes as much as 10 times as long as OpenAI's API. And I don't know why that is, because in other queries, apart from this most important part of my analysis, DeepSeek's model didn't take significantly longer and sometimes was a little bit faster than OpenAI's models. But in this case, it took a long time. After I finished building the alternate program with DeepSeek's API, I started testing OpenAI's models, documenting the amount of time that each query took, how much it cost, the number of errors in the response, and so on. And once I finished that, I started testing DeepSeek's models. My first query was successful, my second query failed, and all of my queries since then have also failed. DeepSeek's developer website has also gone down, which means I'm not able to access my account. I thought at first that I might not be getting a response from DeepSeek's API because I ran out of credits, but DeepSeek's documentation says that it should send a error code that says insufficient funds if you run out of credits, and that's not the response that I've been getting. I'm not able to confirm whether or not I've run out of credits because their website's down. So unfortunately, I can't compare DeepSeek's API performance to OpenAI's yet, although I'll provide an update when their website goes back online and I am able to run the tests. But for now, I can say their documentation seems not to be as reliable as OpenAI's. The performance of their V3 model is not significantly better in any way that I could see, and in some ways is significantly worse than OpenAI's 0.1 and 4.0 models. And their developer website is maybe not as reliable. I've only been experimenting with this for about a day, so this is a small sample size, and maybe the company will fix these problems and get better. I'll provide an update in the future if anything changes and I'm able to run my tests. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully you like this video. If so, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.